Well, I'm no war reporter. I don't think I'm going to have a very good answer for this, but I think the bravest thing I ever did was move to New York without a job, and just with the hope of getting a job at the end of it, and it sort of managed to pay off. And the thing that I learned from that was that taking risks is they quite often pay off. I mean, the obvious answer is to do good journalism, to be telling the truth as much as we can, and to try and stay away from partisanship. I don't think that's enough. I think it has to be rooted in education as well. I think that the problem with fake news, so to speak, is that it goes beyond facts. If anyone's ever had an argument with a very conservative uncle or a very liberal nephew, they'll know that often saying facts to them doesn't really work, because they'll have their own set of beliefs almost. And so I think that what it requires is for educators, and I include journalists among that, is to be teaching people how to question what is put in front of them. And if they are told something by, be it Donald Trump's Twitter feed or the British government, that it's something that they should feel like that isn't necessarily the unvarnished truth, and they should question it and look to the people who they can trust. I think that social media has played a huge part in getting people invested in journalism. Twitter, which is actually very few people use Twitter, but that has certainly become a crucible of ideas for other journalists and for people who are very involved. But there's other areas of social media. I think I saw a poll yesterday where a lot of young people say they're getting their news from Snapchat now, which I'm not quite sure how that happens, but for us brands, that's got to represent an opportunity. If we can figure out ways of telling stories on those people. The example I always use, and I did in the talk today, is Instagram. We have this Finding Home project, which is following the 3 Syrian families, and we've told that story through Instagram, and it's had the most remarkable engagement. And I think it's brought that story to audiences who otherwise wouldn't have seen it and might not have the understanding and the compassion for people who are Syrian refugees and are trying to build homes in Europe. Well, as an editor, you stand back and let your journalists come to you, and you just encourage them to dream big, and you give them the faith that you as an individual and also you as a brand are invested in the kinds of stories that they want to tell. I think at this moment in journalism, there's no prizes for telling small stories. The way to draw attention to your brand and for people to understand that what you're doing is meaningful is to hit for the home run, as we might say in the States. To kind of to go for the bigger stories, to really, really be ambitious. And so, as an editor, that's what I'm trying to encourage my writers to do.